So let's look at what's going on here. Here's the actual prediction. As you can see here, the blue is the expected Bitcoin's price and the red is the actual Bitcoin's price. You could see that it's semi-correlated, just briefly, but the actual percentages are absolutely ridiculous. This is the Google price prediction. This is the YouTube price prediction in accordance to the actual price of Bitcoin, right? You can see people are a little bit over optimistic. I could say that for myself. And I think it's primarily because they're trying to hype people up. They're trying to get views. They're trying to get clicks. Their motive is not to try to accurately predict Bitcoin's price. Their motive is just to get as many views and attention as possible. So sometimes they'll say things like, Bitcoin to $1 million or Bitcoin is going to quadruple or whatever the case is. They're in general more optimistic. So just understand that even though the news outlets are optimistic and we know, or most of you know, that the actual price is probably not going to do that, there's people that will get, finessed, or, the general psychology are seeing the general people are seeing these numbers, right? They're seeing these numbers over and over again. Even if they're over optimistic, it's in their brain. And this is important to understand, because if you think Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million, you're never going to cash out. You're never going to sell your Bitcoin at the right time. So if your general psychology is overly optimistic, you're going to be caught holding the bag. And if we look back to 2017, 99% of people lost a ridiculous amount of money and held on to the bag. My goal here on this channel is to call the top. I promise you, if I see a top in Bitcoin or any altcoin season, I'm going to publicly tell every single person on my YouTube channel, that I'm selling, right? It's obviously not financial advice, but I'm going to tell you why and give you the best reasonings. Now, this is not a time for that, right? It's not selling moment. Now it's time to buy, in my personal opinion. But let's look at the correlation between all social media predictions, right? There's a direct correlation between the past and current performance of Bitcoin and the predictions being made in that same period. This is observational data only, so the correlations can be made. Causation is found through experimental studies with control variables. So again, we can make conclusions, we can draw correlations, but this is not the actual way you have to predict it. It will require a lot more resources to look into this in a deeper perspective. In all likelihood, the price and the predictions operate in a feedback loop where they simultaneously affect each other. Like we all said, they affect each other. The Bitcoin's price will increase with this news, and the news will get more exaggerated, and then it's a feedback loop, right? Data reliability is solid as all three graphs show similar trends in the short term. So in short term, they are similar. They are pretty much all similar. Everyone's kind of copying each other. If you understand how the internet works and how media works on the internet, they're just regurgitating each other's information. So I can see how this feedback loop plays. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, let me just give you a quick draw. I can't draw, but I'll give you a little representation of what I'm talking about. So let's just say this is the news outlet. They say 100K Bitcoin, right? Which causes people to actually buy the Bitcoin. Let's just say that's Bitcoin. They actually buy it, which brings the price up. And then the price coming up, gets people to make more news. And it's a feedback loop, and it just keeps going. And we all know that Bitcoin's price, and as well as a lot of altcoins, are heavily weighted on speculation and overvalued. Hence why a lot of the times the bubbles pop, right? The Bitcoin's price would drop exponentially. People will call it a scam. It would drop like 70, 80%, just like it did last altcoin cycle. And then it comes back because it's just overvalued. And this happens in every single bubble on planet Earth. There's like the bubble and speculation of what people think. The same thing with the housing bubble, or the stock, and the same thing with like the tech bubble. They're bubbles, they pop, true innovation stays, the true projects stay, and then eventually it comes back. So interpretation, 100% change in the last month will result in 101.3% change in price prediction. So as you can see, they're highly correlated. Bitcoin's predictions and the price are very correlated. The price prediction on average is 225% of last month's price. You can see that people are a little bit optimistic about the price, and it goes through that feedback loop. Last month's price accounts for 75% of the variant in the current monthly price prediction, which we'll talk about. The standard error is high. So this is the exact number that you need to understand. If people, and you see people on YouTube or on news outlets predicting price of Bitcoin to be like 500K, they're 75.87% wrong. So typically people will predict the price of Bitcoin higher about 75% of the time, 76% of the time. They'll predict that the price is going to be higher from what the actual price ends up being. Considering the default standard error, in other words, the model could be off about 75% from the given price prediction. This is probably because most predictions are wild guess, and this is all true. So if we look at the actual price prediction, like I told you, the greatest price prediction ever made, we're going to be branching this out to years, not just the end of April. They are basically saying, okay, and we're going to come back to this, and this is also going to change a lot with the cycles of the market. So don't take this too seriously. I'm not even taking it too seriously. The prediction for April 21st, 2021, 30 days after the data collection, which it was recent, but you know, it took a little bit of time for me to make this video. They're saying that Bitcoin's price will be 100, or this actual data science model, according to their predictions, are saying Bitcoin's going to be 131,000 by April 21st, which is in 2 weeks. Now, I don't think this is necessarily accurate, but it's interesting to see that people are optimistic, and the numbers that we looked at. That's it for this video. If you like the quality of content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.